Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at everything you need to know about Aquarius. This video is for you if you have a lot of Aquarius energy in your natal chart, or maybe you have one or two placements and it's going to resonate, or if you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to start with the ultimate basics. So Aquarius is ruled by the 11th house. It is ruled in modern astrology by Uranus. In ancient astrology, it was ruled by Saturn. So it's interesting to see that effect going on in there. It is a fixed air sign. What does this mean? Stubborn, stuck in their ways, don't really want to change. All of the fixed signs deal with an ego of some sort. So we're going to get a little bit more into that shortly. Within the body, Aquarius is going to be ruling the calves and the ankles, which is really interesting because for all of the signs, I've been assigning them a chakra that I feel like that particular sign pertains to. And it's interesting that Aquarius does rule the calves and the ankles, because then technically that would be the root chakra. Although for Aquarius, I definitely think that Aquarius is all about the crown chakra, getting the ideas and the downloads to come through. But it actually makes sense because it's like if you're too much in your crown chakra, then you're not grounded in your root chakra. So people who have a lot of Aquarius energy in their natal chart, you guys might trip a lot, you guys might hurt your ankles a lot, you might twist your ankles, things like this, because it kind of makes sense. It's like if you're too much in your crown, you're up in the ethers, you're not grounded on the earth plane. So I'll definitely give the root chakra as well for the Aquarius energy because it does rule this body part. So it's kind of like you want to balance the two. I do find that the root chakra and the crown chakra are actually connected, because it's like if you're too much in your crown, you're not enough in your root. And then if you're too much in your root, you're not able to go into the crown. So it's kind of like these are the two chakras that you guys are going to be balancing within yourselves. That's the whole thing here. So for you guys, the Aquarius energy, futuristic, ahead of your time. You guys are always going to be super, super ahead of your time. They did used to say that it's 5 to 10 years ahead of your time. What I will say is the frequency of the planet is higher now. So it might not be that much ahead of your time. It could just be 1 year ahead of your time or a few months or whatever it is. But regardless, you guys are going to be ahead of your time. You're always going to be ahead of the collective. When you're younger, people might not understand what you guys are saying. They might not understand your ideas. The whole thing with the Aquarius energy is you guys are here to propel the collective forward. It is the 11th house. You guys connect people together. It is a humanitarian sign, and you guys are always going to have those ideas that are very much ahead of your time. Now, the suggestion that I always have for this energy is to write down your ideas, because they're probably going to come in handy in the future. When you guys are younger, you're probably going to notice you guys might start fashion trends before everybody else. It could be hairstyles. It could be like clothing styles. It could be the way you guys speak or slang. It's kind of like you guys are picking up on it in the ethers and grounding it into this physical reality. And the thing is with this energy, this is where the ego comes through, because it's like Aquarius always wants to have their own individuality. So it's like they're going to be the first ones doing something, and then as soon as the crowd starts doing it, like this trend that they started, they're going to drop it and they're going to move on to the next trend, because it's like I'm different. So they're always going to be the initiators in a sense, where it's like they start something without realizing more often than not, and then it's like everyone's doing it, and then it's like you're not unique anymore. It's that energy where it's like you guys want to be unique, you want to be different, and you guys want to be known for your individuality. And with that being said, you guys are ruled by Uranus. Now it's interesting because it's like I feel like the Saturn rulership from ancient astrology isn't talked about enough when it comes to Aquarius, because the Uranus energy is going to give you guys that sudden unexpected change energy in terms of like you guys are different, you guys can change very quickly. That whole energy where it's like if the crowd starts doing what you guys are doing, you're already on to the next thing. You never want to be grouped with people. That's kind of where that ego comes through, because keep in mind all of the signs do bounce off of the opposition. So for you guys, your opposition is going to be Leo, which also overall does deal with the ego, and then on top of that, it's a fixed sign. And it's interesting because these two signs both deal with creativity in their own way. So for example, Leo is all about the earthly creativity, I guess you can say, in terms of the way you express yourself, in terms of making people laugh and creating things and maybe doing arts and crafts, like these types of things, like very physical type of creativity. For you guys, it's your ideas. People who have a lot of Aquarius energy in their natal chart, or if you're dominant as Uranus, or if you're aspected by Aquarius in any way, shape, or form, you guys are going to want to be known for your mind. That's the whole thing here. You guys are going to want to be known for your ideas. So back to what I was saying earlier, basically when you guys are younger, you guys might be sharing your ideas and you might be excited. And it's like people might not actually grasp these ideas. And then you guys might get that throat chakra shut off in terms of not actually sharing your ideas. But that's exactly what you guys are here to do. Sometimes I find all of the signs, whatever they represent, they are here to basically master that thing. So you guys are here to master the creative mind, the ideas, the inventions, the apps. The internet is very much Aquarian-like. You guys are always going to, again, be thinking in this way because, again, the internet connects us as well. Keep in mind, all of the air signs do deal with groups of people in one way, shape, or form. For Aquarius, it is large groups of people. The Aquarius energy, sometimes I see it like those people who are on a stage with a microphone kind of doing like a motivational talk, or like they're activists, or like they're preaching some sort of idea or something that they've created. Like there's a crowd of people there and it's like all those people came there for a common cause. The Aquarian energy isn't going to be interested in small talk at all. They're not going to be interested in simple minds. They're not going to be interested in simple ideas. They're basically the energy where it's like you become friends with them. Okay, how can we propel the collective forward together? Right away when you guys meet an Aquarian person, they're going to be discussing their ideas with you, or again, things that are going on in the world, or how can we help the world? How can we make the world a better place? These types of things. It's like, it's the bigger picture. This is really what the Aquarian energy is all about. So first of all, because of that, people might not understand you. But then also secondly, it's like when you have this energy in your natal chart, it's like, again, you don't want to have simple friendships. You basically want to put people to work if you really think about it, because if we go through the entire wheel, come out of Capricorn, which is the energy all about efficiency and putting people to work, into Aquarius. So it's kind of like now you're putting people to work for a higher purpose, for a higher meaning, to help the collective, again, to propel the collective forward. That's the whole thing here. And with the Aquarius energy, sometimes what I suggest for them is to basically start where the collective is at and then bring them up to your level, because otherwise you guys might find yourselves in situations and circumstances where you're frustrated and you guys feel like people aren't understanding you or not hearing your idea, or you might feel like you're just speaking into a void or to the wall or whatever it is. And it's like you have to learn where the collective is and then bring them up to your level. So if the collective currently is talking about sports, you got to start talking about sports and then bring them up to your ideas, whatever. Maybe it's an invention surrounding sports. If they're talking about fashion, you got to start talking about fashion and then bring them up to your level. With the Aquarius energy, timing is going to be key. And it's kind of like, it's really important not to, again, allow yourselves to be knocked down because you kind of feel like you're not being heard, or even allow your throat chakra to get shut off in terms of not speaking these ideas anymore. So really the Aquarius energy is here to uplift the collective, uplift others, help people be put on their paths. That's the thing, because again, they are ahead of their time. So like, let's say in your friend groups, again, because you're ahead of your time, you're going to naturally be connected to the other side. So when you guys are hanging out with your friends, you guys might pull out your friends' dreams and wishes and desires and speak it into existence for them, kind of give them the idea that maybe they were thinking and couldn't even put to words. Because again, it's the psychic energy. All of these signs after Scorpio and onwards are psychic in one way, shape, or form, and they are connected to the other side, and they're going to be very much spiritual, okay? They're going to be dealing with the metaphysical planes. So it's like we're almost at the end of the zodiac. When we look at Aquarius, it's the 11th house. So there's so much going on here. You guys are going to be wise. You're going to be wise beyond your years. Probably going to be an old soul. You guys are going to be connected to the other side. Sometimes I see the Aquarius energy as like an elder vibe. You know, it's like that deep wisdom where it's like they're just quiet. They're keeping to themselves in the back of the corner. They're observing. That's really the Aquarius energy. And it's like, because of this, you guys might see things within people before they see it in themselves. And it's interesting because if we look at the tarot, which is what I've been doing for all of these videos as well, in the tarot, Aquarius is represented by the star. What does this mean? Dreams coming true, a wish coming to life. You know, it's a star. You look up in the sky and there's stars. I mean, you guys can also look at it in the way where it's like you guys are the star. Again, if you bounce off of Leo in that way, you can look at it in that way as well. But it's like, it's a very humanitarian energy where it's like, it's always about helping other people, propelling other people and the whole collective. So when you guys have a lot of this energy in your natal chart, you guys might feel like there's a burden of the whole world on your shoulders, because it's like you guys see all the problems. That's really what it is with the Aquarian energy. And it's like, for you guys, it might seem like there's such a quick fix, you know, and it's like the rest of the collective is like, they're not there yet. It's really what it is with the Aquarian energy and the natal chart. Now, it's interesting, a lot of the time the Aquarius energy does get labeled detached, but again, this isn't necessarily a negative term. Again, I feel like on the earth plane, we operate in such like polarities. It's either good or it's bad. But with Aquarius, the detached energy comes from them being a mental sign, an intellectual sign. You guys are always going to have to connect intellectually with people first. You're going to intellectualize everything around you. Doesn't mean you're not going to have feelings. It's just like you're going to think things through. You're going to be logical. Because think about it this way. It's like, it's not only the 11th house in terms of like you have all of the preceding signs knowledge within you. It's also going to be the third and final air sign in terms of out of all the air signs, they're going to be the most mature. So it's like you have Gemini, it's kind of like a little kid and excited, making all these friends. Then you have Libra, who's connecting everybody together. They're the party hosts. And then you have the Aquarian energy where it's like, okay, now we're all gathered here for a larger purpose. Let's see how we can all work work together. It's very much like a unity type of energy. The visual that I'm getting is, have you guys ever seen those pictures of like an earth? It's a cartoon picture. Maybe if I find it online, I'll put it in here. But it's like an earth, and around the earth, all the people, like there's like cartoon figures who are like all holding hands together, like very much Aquarian energy. You guys want there to be peace. You guys want there to be ideas. You guys want there to be innovation. You guys want everyone to get along. Like it's really like this, but it's also realistic. It's not too much like Pisces yet. In terms of Pisces, like dreams and all these sorts of things, it's just going to be very much, again, ahead of your time. It's almost like you guys just come from somewhere in the future and you guys come back here and you're here to ground those ideas into the earth plane from the future, from the other side, however way, shape, or form you want to look at it. Most of the time, I just think it's us from the future helping us currently. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going on with the Aquarius energy. So going back to the rulership energy in terms of you guys being ruled by Uranus in modern astrology and Saturn in ancient astrology, what does all of this mean? So Uranus is sudden, unexpected change. Like I said, you guys might be different and you guys might be abrupt in terms of the things you guys want to do and just your personality overall. Again, you might feel like you're not understood. It really depends where you have it in your natal chart, but a lot of the time it might feel like people aren't speaking the same language as you guys. I'm also psychically seeing that a lot of you guys could be good at numbers and sciencey things, techie things, like all these types of things, again, where it's literally you're learning a different type of language, like coding or something of that sort. Very much Aquarian like. So there's a Uranus energy of that where it's like, again, unconventional, different, quirky, all these sorts of things. But you have Saturn going on in there as well. We have to look at that as well. So in ancient astrology, you guys used to be ruled by Saturn. What is Saturn? The planet of restrictions, which is an interesting energy because it's like you have Uranus that wants you guys to expand and be different and be abrupt, but then you have Saturn that's also restricting you guys at the same time. And it's interesting because at least the way that I see it is like the restriction you guys might feel imposed on you guys in this lifetime could be the earth plane in terms of like, again, people not understanding your ideas. This is restricted, or again, not being able to expand intellectually as much as you guys want. Saturn is restricting that. So it's kind of aspecting you guys in this way. It doesn't mean your ideas are going to come into fruition. It's just like, again, it's that frustration energy that I was saying earlier in the video as well, where it's like, you guys might feel like your ideas aren't taking off, like all these sorts of things. You have the Saturn restriction energy happening there. And again, Saturn operates over time. So it's again, that whole energy where it's like you guys are here to learn time and master the art of timing, which is really, really interesting if you think about it, because it's like you can have the best idea in the world, but you're talking about it today, people might not necessarily understand, like I said, what you're saying, but 10 years from now, you take that idea and you apply it and boom, everybody might be on board. That's something that you guys are here to master, which is interesting because Saturn does rule time and Saturn rules karma, and Saturn basically rewards you over an extended period of time. I mean, it can also punish you depending on what you guys were doing. It's the planet of karma. So it's like you reap what you sow. If you guys were doing something good, you get rewarded, or if you were working hard towards something, you're going to get rewarded. Or if you guys were scamming people or doing things like this, that might also end up coming up later on. So with that being said, it's all about mastering the art of timing in terms of your ideas. It's like through an extended period of time, you guys gain wisdom, you guys are able to implement your ideas, you guys are basically able to get people on board with whatever your ideas are. So it's interesting to see how Saturn is affecting this placement. It's a very wise energy. That's really what Aquarius is. And it's interesting because if you guys look at the multidimensional aspect of things, first of all, you guys are going to be very multidimensional. You guys are going to be into metaphysics and all these sorts of things, but also in the higher planes, time doesn't exist. So again, I can see how this frustration comes through in terms of Saturn, where it's like you come on the earth plane where you're restricted, you're bound by these like laws of time and all these sorts of things. So it's a very fascinating energy, very much like a time traveler type of energy. And you guys are here to propel the collective forward with your ideas, your creativity, help uplift others, and again, bring people together in this way. And it's interesting because you guys do deal with large groups of people. You're always going to be surrounded by people. People are always going to be interested in what you have to say, but you guys might always feel like the odd one out. That's the thing with the Aquarius energy. It's like no matter how many people you guys have around you, you carry this deep loner energy within you. And honestly, it's just because you guys are ahead of your time is really what that is with the Aquarius energy. You guys might feel like you don't necessarily fit anywhere. You're going to have a lot of groups of friends. And again, people from all walks of life, very non-judgmental energy. But with all these people, you might not necessarily feel like you fit with them. And you're always going to stand out. Even if you guys try to go unnoticed, you're going to stand out because again, you're bouncing off of Leo in that way. Leo is the sun. Leo's always noticed no matter what they do, even if they're trying to hide or be incognito. Same with you guys. It's just like this natural magnetism towards you. People are always going to be interested. But again, it's because of your mind, it's because of your ideas, and every aspect of your life, depending on where you have Aquarius in your natal chart, is going to be expressed differently. But this is the overall idea here. Different, detached, quirky, loner energy, super intellectual, so many ideas, ahead of your time, time traveler energy. It's like you come from the future almost and you come here and you're here to ground these ideas. You just have to figure out a way to deliver them. And you guys are here really to master timing, the timing of things, and when you're going to basically pitch these things so it has the biggest effect on the collective, because that's ultimately what you guys are here to do. It's to up level and propel the collective forward. So with all of that being said, my friends, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I do hope you guys enjoyed my video on everything you guys need to know about the Aquarius energy. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.